Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, our mission is really unpacking a technology that's changing how organizations work with their data. We're diving into Snowflake, figuring out how it turns raw info into insights, and, well, what makes it so powerful? Why should you care?
Exactly. And we need to unpack it because, data teams have faced this uphill battle for years. Just imagine trying to get quick answers when your data is everywhere. Different databases, cloud, IoT feeds, social media,
Chaos.
total chaos. It leads to really complex systems, high costs, and honestly, frustrating delays. You just can't get those quick insights. So this deep dive, we're showing you a solution that cuts through that.
Okay, you painted that picture really clearly. Data chaos. So what's maybe the biggest frustration, the main pain point Snowflake tries to fix day to day?
It really boils down to this. Companies need insights fast, urgently, but they're just drowning in data, scattered all over. That means complex, expensive setups and long waits for analysis. Agility, impossible. Snowflake's core idea is getting you all the data you need right when you need it, for like instant results.
Okay, instant results. So how does it actually manage that? Pulling all that varied data together, what's the core design?
Think of it kind of like a universal translator for data. It integrates these different sources pretty seamlessly. It uses tools, common processes like ETL and ELT.
Extract, transform, load.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Loading the data.
Yeah.
But also things like Snowpipe. That's for continuous real-time data coming in and data streams to capture changes happening right now.
Okay.
But what's really foundational, what sets it apart, is this architecture, multi-cluster shared data.
Multi-cluster shared data. What does that mean in practice?
It means compute power is totally decoupled from storage. They're separate.
Ah, okay.
So you can scale your the processing power up or down independently without messing with your stored data. It prevents those bottlenecks, even when usage spikes.
That separation, compute from storage, that sounds like a huge deal for flexibility. So beyond that core design, what else makes Snowflake really stand out? What are the key innovations?
Well, okay, first off, performance and cost. They're massive differentiators. We're talking handling multi-petabyte scale data, huge volumes. Some sources suggest it can be up to 200 times faster.
Wow, 200x.
Yeah, and potentially at just 1/10 the cost of, older data warehouse approaches.
Okay, that's significant.
Then there's concurrency and elasticity because of that separate compute and storage.
Right, the decoupling.
Exactly. It lets loads of different users and workloads run at the same time without slowing things down. Imagine hundreds, maybe thousands, querying data simultaneously. No performance hit. And it scales compute up and down automatically based on need. So you only pay for what you actually use.
Performance, cost, elasticity, that's already compelling. But often, powerful tools mean complexity, right? Headaches for IT managing it all. How simple is Snowflake?
That's another big plus. They talk about zero administration.
Zero admin, really.
Minimal. It's designed to be efficient. And adoption is easier because it uses standard SQL, ANSI standard SQL.
So analysts already know how to use it.
Pretty much, yeah. If they know SQL, the learning curve isn't steep. And it plugs right into existing BI tools, your business intelligence setup. No need to rip everything out.
That's smooth as adoption a lot. Okay, what about handling the data itself? If things go wrong or you need to experiment safely.
Yeah, the data handling is really innovative. There's something called time travel.
Time travel. Sounds intriguing.
It's kind of like a data superpower. Imagine you can instantly rewind your data to any point in the past.
Like an undo button for data.
Exactly. Fix a bad query from an hour ago, recover deleted data from last week, whatever. No need for a full, slow backup or restore. It cuts downtime massively. Less stress.
Time travel sounds like a lifesaver, especially for recovery. You also mentioned cloning. How does that fit in? For dev and test, maybe?
Cloning is just as clever. It lets you create clones of your data almost instantly for development or testing. But here's the key. It just creates a pointer to the original data. It doesn't actually duplicate terabytes of information.
So it saves huge amounts of storage and time.
Yeah, immense amounts. Plus, it natively handles semi-structured data, like JSON. The flexible formats from web apps.
Yeah, those can be tricky.
It uses what they call schema on read.
Right.
It doesn't force the data into a rigid structure first. It figures out the structure as you query it. Super flexible, still fast.
Okay, so less wrestling with data formats. Big boost for developers. I've also heard data sharing is a really big deal in Snowflake. Collaboration.
Oh, absolutely. That ability to securely share data across groups, even outside your organization, is a game changer. It opens doors for data monetization, securely selling or exchanging data insights, And it makes recovery easier too. And thinking bigger picture, there's cross-cloud replication.
Replicating across different clouds, like AWS to Azure.
Yep. Multiple options for business continuity, extra protection against outages, and it helps with data sovereignty rules, keeping data in specific regions across different clouds.
So you get resilience and meet regulations. Okay, bringing it all together, what does this mean in the real world? How does this empower companies?
It means enabling everything from advanced analytics, AI, machine learning, all the way to better visualization tools and self-service dashboards for everyday users. Think of a retailer instantly analyzing sales from everywhere, stores, online, social media feeding AI models to predict demand accurately.
Right.
Or maybe a healthcare provider sharing anonymized patient insights securely for research, speeding up discoveries. It just gives more people direct access to insights for better decisions. Faster.
So wrapping this up then, Snowflake seems to take this incredibly complex data world and make it much simpler, more accessible, more actionable for, well, pretty much anyone who needs data
Yeah,
without all the old headaches.
exactly. And that leaves us with maybe a final thought for you listening. If sharing data securely becomes as easy as just sending an email, think about how that could fundamentally change things. How industries might collaborate or innovate, or even create totally new business models built purely on shared insights. What possibilities does that open up?